Alright guys, so breakfast again. These mukbangs are getting easier and easier for me to do because I'm just eating what I'm eating regularly, right? So take a look, we're eating fried cake or fried jack. From my family we call it fried jack, Joe's family calls it fried cake. It's just fried bread, right? And see, for all the people that like to drag me and say, her fried jack doesn't poof up. It doesn't poof up if you don't put a slit in it, alright? So these ones don't have the slit in it. 2 pieces, 1 egg over easy. I know I'm eating like a gold bar right here with the egg, right? A little piece of ham.
You're watching the Bare Pantry Show.
And I have this Dutch cheese up here just to show off because my baby's back. And he brought me a Dutch cheese. The last time I got a whole Dutch cheese was 2016 when I went home for my uncle's funeral. So that cheese is down to like a little piece of hard piece. It doesn't go bad. So he also brought this back, Happy Cow. I like Happy Cow cheese. I'm going to open it so you guys can see what it looks like. But I don't eat it because it's one of the wetter cheeses. And so because I'm lactose intolerant, it'll give me a little bit of bloating and pain. The drier cheeses like this and Parmesan and any dry cheese, I don't know a lot of cheese name, will not give me issues. Also yogurt doesn't give me issues. See, comes like this. I'm going to open it and I'm going to taste it and let you guys know what it tastes like. Why am I sweating? This is how the Dutch cheese look. And people also know it as red back cheese because it has this red back. I think I told you guys already where I saw a video where someone peel off all the red part of the cheese and cooked it to a liquid and then wrap the cheese back up in it. Every time they cut it, they wrap it back up in it. So the cheese doesn't get hard, right? Because we're going to have to wrap this up really, really well. So I'm going to taste both of them first before we dive into the breakfast, just to tell you what they taste like, okay? Now, a lot of people that are Belizean, Caribbean, whatever, will know what Dutch cheese tastes like, of course. So that part is not for y'all, okay? I don't have a knife. I'll just cut a little piece with the fork. So it's a real, you know what it feels like? Like Velveeta. That's the texture. Please don't come for me, but it also tastes like Velveeta. Comment below if you think Happy Cow cheese tastes like Velveeta cheese. Okay, can you guys see this? Yeah. Oh, I fixed my dragonfly. This is from my friend Nisa. Hi, Nisa. And it was standing that way, upright. But every time Joe doesn't sit with me for the mukbangs, it's going out the top of my head and I hate it when I'm editing. So I put that like it's flying right now, okay? And all these pillows here, if you can see these pillows, this is from my friend Brenda, okay? This one's always here. This one is what I sleep with to rest my arm, because if I sleep on my side, I don't rest my arm, I'll have shoulder pain. But it's here right now because I'm still not sleeping in the bed with Joe because I tested him yesterday, Saturday, which is like 5 days after he first got symptoms, and he is still infected. The red line was bright red, okay? But he's doing good. It's like a mild cold, not even like a mild flu because he doesn't have aches and pain. He still has all his happening. He can really go out and get stuff done if he wanted to, but we don't want to infect anybody else. So people like to do this with the fried jack. You see the title, right? I'm going to be addressing something. I'm going to eat and enjoy my meal first before I address what I want to address, because I don't even want to spend too much time on it. I don't want to spend more than 2 to 3 minutes in this video addressing something that happened, okay? So you break this open like this. This is what Belizeans like, not me. I don't like doing this, but I'm doing it just to show you guys. And they put whatever they're eating, fried beans, chicken, whatever, they put it inside the thingamajiggy and make it like a pocket. I hope Joe remembers that I'm taping because he's talking out there. And this conversation will carry in here into the camera. I might have to pause and go remind him. Or I could call him. He has his phone. I could call him. You want some? There's a YouTuber that I watch now and again that is always offering people her food. And the people go, "We love that you offer us your food." I'm like, no, she's not. She's eating that food. You're not there with her. So I'm so glad my baby's back. Even though I was getting a lot done when he was gone, I missed him. And you know why I missed him? Not for the things that he does here, which he does a lot, but the conversation. Because he's been back since Wednesday, today is Sunday. And when he's like quarantined in the room, we don't have any conversations. And I think that's what I miss the most, is the conversation. When I go lay down on the couch at night, the couch is comfortable, but I have nobody to talk to. So I just watch my favorite YouTubers and drift off into La La Land. And then I get up a couple of times to check on him. Joshua checks on him too. He's always doing great. He's not even coughing hardly. Thank you, Bella, for sending that humidifier mister thingy back when we first got the covert. And it's come in clutch several times with other ailments. Oh, that cheese is so good. The Dutch cheese, I don't usually eat it like this. I only have a little piece because it's real salty and I don't want to mess up my 7 pounds weight loss. I'm not going to give you guys no more updates on the weight loss until I pass a certain number that I want to pass. Okay? My nails look ratchet. I didn't even paint them for this thing. I paint my nails almost every day because I use cheap nail polish and it rubs off. I don't want to use gel because it stays on. It rips up my nail. My nail doesn't look healthy. This is a big breakfast for my eating plan. So I'm probably going to have 2 meals today. So just a quick run through of what I've been eating. When Joe left that Saturday, I made that pot of chicken soup with the veggies. And you've seen me do that in a mukbang. And I eat as much of that as I want, but more of the broth because it fills you up, but then you're hungry like 2-3 hours later, which is just in time to eat again. I made tuna salad with a lot of different vegetables in there, like bell peppers, pickles, onion, and I used very little mayo. It was almost on the drier side, but I'm watching the calories. And I would eat half a cup of that with 1 little piece of bread, like that little bread that little roll that I made. I would eat half. Breakfast every day was a piece of bread with 1 tablespoon of peanut butter and a fruit and a green juice. That was my breakfast. I like, when I do a plan, I tend to eat the same thing over and over again because I see it working, right? Only one day, yesterday was breakfast, was sushi bake. Jada does this, oh, I taped it as a reel. I'm going to have to edit that and put that up quickly, guys. I forgot I had that as a reel. The sushi bake is like cooked white rice put on the bottom of the Pyrex dish. Or some kind of dish. And she makes a mixture with imitation crab and shrimp and all type of stuff. With spicy mayo, which is mayonnaise with sriracha, I think. And I don't know, a whole heap of mess. She makes a salad like and she spreads it on top. She breaks up the seaweed thing on top. Or in between. And then she bakes it for like 15 minutes. And then she dresses the top with avocado. It's so good. But I didn't eat it the day before for dinner. Because what I'm going to talk with you about upsetted me that I couldn't eat my food. When I'm upset, I can't eat. But I'm okay. I didn't let it upset me for too long. I just figured if I can't eat it right now, it's already too late later on that night to eat it. So guess what? I'm going to just go ahead and eat it the next day for breakfast. And enjoy it. And I did. Let me eat my egg. I'm afraid to tell you guys how much egg I have. The reason, listen to Corey just barking like a fool. The reason I have so much egg is because we always buy 10 dozen egg. Because when you're doing a cooking show, you need to have a lot of eggs. So I bought 10 dozen eggs before Joe left. That's before they were limiting things. And I didn't eat none when he was gone. So we have a lot of eggs. I don't have the whole 10 dozen though. Probably 7 or 8 dozen. So I'm splurging. I'm splurging calorie-wise today and egg-wise. I'm not eating a big piece of the cheese, but it's still high in calories. And salt. And ham. Salt. The egg is 70 calories. But I did cook it in a little bit of butter. That's why when I'm on a diet, I prefer to eat boiled eggs. Because then you don't have to cook it in grease, right? I have non-stick skillet, but I hate the way the egg looks when it's cooked in a non-stick skillet without fat. It looks weird. So, I want to eat the egg before it gets cold, you know? Not going to talk about B Loves and her drama today, because I haven't kept up with it since the last mukbang. What have I been doing? Editing Joe's clips from the Belize trip. So what I did, I put together the service, the burial, and the repast. The reason why I did it that way is because there's a lot of copywritten music at the burial and the repast. And I couldn't lower the volume and cut it out and just play my own music over it, because the people were really receiving Joe. And they were funny. So many funny characters. You couldn't get that many characters in one video if you paid them. They were so funny and so welcoming. Joe said there was not one person that was rude to him. Only one person, remember, said something out of turn, not to like be rude to him, but the person brought up something about Jada's weight. And don't even know Joe's kids. And Joe just kind of walked away. Joe didn't put that on camera. Joe said he didn't catch it on camera and he's glad, and if he did, I would have cut it out. He goes, but that's how most Belizeans, Caribbean people are. They just want to say anything come to their mouth and they don't give it a second thought that that's hurtful. You know? But other than that, Joe said he was well received. I'm going to name a few people that he said he adored. Now, what people are doing is reading between the lines for when I speak in my mukbangs and trying to make things about themselves. We're going to get into the topic. Just hold on. I just want to enjoy my meal first. So by me saying, let me tell you who Joe adored, other people might not hear their names being called and figure, oh, Joe didn't like me. That's not what it is. It's who he had proximity to, who was humble towards him, who was mannerly and respectful and kind. And that's what he remembered. And if I leave anybody out, he'll remind me later. He says his nephew Patrick and Patrick's wife. Leon something is her name. It's my phone. We're going to give her props in one of the other videos too, but I think he sent me the name. So Joe couldn't remember the name. Leoniza. It's spelled Leoniza, but I asked him if it's Leon, to get the pronunciation. Eza. And he goes, yeah, Leoniza. I wanted to make sure it wasn't Niza. You know what I mean? Amazing, amazing, amazing human being. Joe adored her. She treated him so well. She went to go buy some little, beaded type jewelry and stuff for Joe to bring back for souvenir for Esther, Jada, and Mabel. And I got a pair of, I'm not wearing it today. I got a pair of Belize and flag earrings I wore in one of the other videos. And she refused to take money for it. I'm like, wow. Treated him good. Heated water for him to bathe. I mean, treated him so good. Thank you. If she's not watching and Patrick watching, tell your wife thank you. I already told him to. Privately. His kids. Amazing little nieces. I think it's a nephew too. His sister Glenda, spent an amazing time with her. Only saw her kids at the funeral. But still, good meeting. Who else was good to him? He was naming name. These are people that made the trip so worthwhile for him. His half siblings. The family hate when I talk like that. And I don't do that to denigrate anybody. But I always differentiate who's from which ma, who's from which pa. By the way, those half siblings are burying their mom right now as I sit and eat this breakfast. If you guys haven't seen my other video, my past video, the day that Joe and his sister was traveling back, which was Wednesday the 25th, my father-in-law's wife passed. I thought she was 68 because that's what I heard from my sister-in-law. But when they put out the announcement, they said she was born 1956, which makes her 1 year older than Joe. You know what was creepy? When I was editing the video for the funeral and stuff, and people kept saying, "Where is mommy? Where's Lover? Let me go give her a hug." She was there. She was there Sunday, and by Wednesday she was gone. They said she had a lot of health issues due to diabetes. I don't want to talk too much because they say I talk too much. But it's not like she was healthy, but they thought she had more time. Who thinks, you know, for Joe's sister that's in her 40s, the older one, who thinks I'm going to go see my brother, my siblings off, go back home, take my mom to the clinic for her to dress her wound. You know, she had trouble with something on her foot. And then a couple hours later, she's gone. Who thinks that? Young woman. This is why I'm going to keep working on my weight. You guys saw what I ate all week. The tuna, the soup, the sweet and sour chicken. And I put the sauce on the sweet and sour chicken, but I didn't pour the sauce. I dropped it in the sauce, rolled it a couple of times, and took it out, put it on my plate. The white rice, if you can eat brown rice, eat that because it's healthier. Some kind of whole grain is always better than what I eat. I can't eat the grains. I had Joe buy me a box of Raisin Bran. Is that dog in here? When did you come in here, dog? I didn't realize when the dog came in. She was barking outside just now, wasn't she? She sure is in here. That's how she moans when she lays down, ever since she was a puppy. Okay. She's trying to star in my video. So it's not old age that has her like that. She's moaned like that ever since she was a 10-month-old puppy. Yeah, so what was I saying now? I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, the siblings. Joe told his sister, the older one, "I'm going to make sure that I keep a relationship with you." So I got her phone number from his nephew Patrick, and I put it in his phone, and he sent her a text giving her condolences. And the little baby girl, they call her Marticia, but it's spelled like Morticia. Again, they're going to say I'm a friggin' know-it-all. I just say the words the way they're supposed to be pronounced, right? So that little girl, I don't know if she's Jada's age or maybe a little bit older. I know the boy that sings is probably like 31, 32, the brother that sings. Yeah, so I didn't realize that Morticia was hearing impaired. You know, I met her before and I knew something was off about her speech, but I didn't know what it was because it was just like hello and goodbye. Sweet kid, very beautiful. I think she's so pretty. She reminds me of somebody, but I don't know who. She's got a really big smile. She shows all her teeth when she smiles. So I feel for her because I think she was with both parents when they took their last breath, and she was their caregiver. So I lift her up. I've been lifting her up. Anyway, she seemed to adore Joe. She spent a lot of time with Joe. And then when she saw that Joe had hearing aids, she said, "Oh, you use hearing aids too? I use it too." And so, and the hearing affects her speech. The hearing impairment doesn't affect Joe's speech yet, because I did a video a while back where I told you he was losing memory of what F's and S sound like. It's the hissing. You can't, Belize call it seat. Seat. You can't seat at Joe, meaning tss. You can't do that and Joe will hear you. All right? So, yeah, it makes me wonder now, and this is just me speculating, it makes me wonder now if deafness runs in the family. Because Joe met another cousin through Ancestry DNA, and he's also hearing impaired, but he said he became that later in life. Joe's been hearing impaired since I met him when he was 26. And he says it's the machinery. He said it on the video to her. I think it's the machinery I worked with. This dog is doing too much. But the company had tested everybody's hearing. after Joe went deaf, and they said no, it wasn't. The machine doesn't make that much of a noise. It's a compressor that makes noise, but the compressor was outside the building, so we don't know. We thought they did that because they didn't want nobody to sue. I always wipe here. I said I'm gonna start bringing a mirror. I always wipe here instead of my mouth when I'm done eating because the lipstick will get here and look messy. And I always like point that out to women when I'm out in public. Right here, right here, right here. I'm that person that will take toilet paper off your shoe if you walk out of the bathroom with toilet paper on your shoe and not even tell you. I'll step on it. So I'm that person, okay? I'm always looking out. When I get rich, I'm going to hire somebody to go with me, an assistant. And all that assistant is going to do is just make sure my bald spot's not showing. Every now and again, they'll just do... You're going to say, well, Barbara, it'll be cheaper for you to just wear a hairpiece or a wig. You see what wig doing to people? You see B-Love, she took off her wig and showed her natural hair. And she's got no edges. Child, no one need edges. No, I don't like when people put edges all the way down here like the baby hairs. That's weird. Anyways, let's address this elephant in the room. So, I got a lot of flack. I'm going to be very careful how I talk. I'm going to say they and them. Try not to, say who I'm talking about. That also gets me in trouble, but I don't care. So I got a lot of flack for the video that's called I'm Spilling All My Own Tea. I'll put it up here in the cards somewhere. I never know which hand to point with for the cards. I think it's this one. So, in that video, it was a mukbang, and I was talking about things that we have faced throughout the years of our marriage, me and Joe, when we go to different funerals for family members, or when we help with different funerals for family members. And at first, I addressed my own family drama. I thought I was going to get flack from the family for my family drama, but I didn't get any flack from the family because that stuff has been addressed forever and ever. Years ago, I addressed some of that stuff. And what I said wasn't denigrating to anybody. When I talked about this, the thing that my dad did to be petty and blah, 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 blah. So anyways, I did address Joe's mom's memorial service because since I've been married to Joe, he hasn't gone through a lot of loss till now, till this season, right? The losses that he went through before, he didn't even know the people. They were like his uncle's grandkids that were born after he left Belize. If you guys go watch his video at Hello People Joe here, watch the whole video. It's an amazing video, 1 hour long. You guys are going to love it. Put it on in the background while you do the dishes, while you're just, filing your nail, crocheting something, whatever you're doing, put it on in the background and enjoy it and laugh. The end is the cincher. I promise you, I left all the bad words in that the man was saying. And if you're Caribbean or you're West Indies or you're, Central American, you're going to get what that man is saying. I did not type it in there for you to know what he's saying because it was so rude. But it was so funny. He makes your belly hurt. I called my friend 27 Ab, that's his username. And I called in the minute it was done. And I called him laughing. And he was laughing till he was breathless. And he says, oh my God. He says, I can see Joe's channel taking off. So anyways, I've told you guys that this year I'm going to be more strategic in the way I run my channel because I really need to get into the algorithm to get paid what I'm worth. I work too hard. I worked too hard to build this big following. You guys see this, right? 100,000, 103,000, almost 104,000 to not even clear $1,000 a month. I always tell you guys what I make. I don't lie about it. I've got some family members that don't like for me to tell what I make, but why lie? It's not like I'm getting it in the difference in cash apps, which I'll put my cash app right here. Right? So I have to make do off of that. Then I have to make do with doing Facebook Reels. Then sometimes I only make $200 on Facebook Reels for the whole month because if I don't get enough to clear 15 videos with 10,000 views, I don't make that $1,000, So sometimes it's nothing, and then I have to do Amazon, which I haven't made an Amazon video in a while. I kind of got discouraged from making Amazon videos because of the fact that they kept blocking my videos, saying stupid stuff that was in there that was not in there. And I finally had to reach somebody through a direct message talk, and they went and they unblocked the last 3 videos and go, we don't know why it was doing that. Anyways, I'll make some more. Let's get back into the story. So I got a lot of flack in that video from Joe's side of the family. So somebody from the family, somebody that I really kick it with. I like this person. I text this person encouraging things. This person texts me encouraging things. There's a younger person in the family. And in the video, I talked about the memorial service, and I talked about how they left Joe out of the slideshow. So it bothered Joe. I don't think it hurt him or angered him, but it bothered him. And I know it bothered him because he brought it up right there in the church, and he goes, did you see what I didn't see? They didn't put me in the slideshow. Joe wasn't even worried that they didn't put me and the kids, because they were never going to put me and the kids. You know, I'm going to say they. And if people in the family think I'm talking about them, then it's you. I'm going to say they don't really like us. There I go. I could say some of them don't really like us and some like us, but you guys get what I'm saying. I say they don't really like us, right? And it's me. It's me that they don't like. Why? Because I tell the truth. People would rather be friends and protect an abuser in the family. You could have a olesterizer in the family doing things to family members, right? And they'll protect that person over the one that came out and told the truth. They don't like the truth tellers in the family. So I spoke it. I didn't speak it with any venom, anything. I did say that we found out who made the slideshow. And after we found out who made the slideshow, we realized, you know, that's why they did that, because that kid's an idiot anyways. And I don't say an idiot to mean he's a dummy. He's smart. But they play games. They play games. And I don't like that kid. I'm never going to talk with that kid. I'm never going to have a relationship with that kid. Joe doesn't have a relationship with any of them. So I didn't mind saying that. So this other kid thought that I was talking about him. I'm going to let you know it's a him. And I tell you, I kick it with him, right? So I don't know when he saw the video. The video is like 4 days old by the time he came to my last premiere for the prior video to this one. And right as the premiere was ending, I did a poll at the premiere. I said, have you liked the video yet? Yes, no. And the last option, I was being facetious. And I said, oops, Babs girl, no, I'm in the bushes. Because of course, if you're in the bushes, you're not going to click that one, right? So I don't know if that triggered him. But he jumped in the thing and he goes, hi, auntie. I guess I'm the idiot nephew you're talking about. And I was like, what the hell? I saw it right when the video ended. So now the chat doesn't load for me till 2 or 3 days later. So I can't even go remove that off of the chat yet, right? So he came to the video and he wrote like 3 paragraphs of disrespectfulness to me. I call it disrespectful. So I wrote publicly that I wasn't talking about you. So then because I have his number, I took it private and I wrote him privately and I said, hey, what gives? I wasn't talking about you. I was never under the understanding that you had any power over the slideshow. I know that you're the one that technically put it together, but I know that you weren't the one that put the pictures and the videos, you know, that picked it. So after saying that, his response, his only response should have been, oh, my bad. I jumped to conclusions. I'm sorry, I thought you thought I did that to you guys when I would never do that to you guys. But let me back up because now I know. That should have been his response. And I would have said, hey, cool, no problem, right? And they'll go remove the thing off my page. So when I told him that, he's still spouting things back and forth about, I thought you knew that I did that, blah, blah, blah. And that's my baby's, well, he wrote that on the page. That's my baby's sonogram. Because I said, how is it a sonogram? In the video, I said, how is it that a sonogram made it into the slideshow when a grown human being at 65 years old, which is the woman's eldest child at the time that was here in America because she had 2 older in Belize, and didn't make it in. That's what I said. And it was his baby sonogram. So I guess he got his nose twisted out of joint. But you know what? This kid's always calm and always respectful. So I figured somebody gaslit him. So Joe says, I'm going to call another family member. I'm not naming names purposely and I'm not giving relationship purposely. You know this kid's a nephew. So I think that pissed the kid off too because I said Joe's nephew. And this is how I operate. In-laws, hear me. If you're Joe's nieces or nephews and I like you and I kick it with you, I F's with you, I will call you my niece and my nephew too. But if I don't really care about you or I don't know you, I'm going to say Joe's niece, Joe's nephew. Like Joe's half-brother, his stepbrother, the oldest boy that my father-in-law raised, doesn't have my father-in-law's name. That's his wife's child. That child, dad happened to be Joe's cousin, Joe's mom's cousin. So they are Joe's family, they're blood, but that's not, those kids are not his nieces and nephews. And I differentiate. I'm sorry, but I differentiate. So Oh, while I remember, the next set of people that Joe really adored was his brother's Wayne kids. They were cool. He didn't spend a lot of time with them, but they were respectful to him for the time that he spent with them, and they were bigging up the Bear Pantry Show. So you know, I love them already. I love them. They kind of favor my kids too. Hey girls, I don't know all your names. I know one is Monica. I know one boy is Wayne Jr., one boy is Shane. That much I know. I don't know the rest. Anyways, Joe called his family member to say, what the hell's going on, right? Why is this boy so twisted up out of joint? Who gaslit this boy? And this family member went off on Joe because this family member is loud and obnoxious. And yeah, they're going to get mad. You're obnoxious. And jumped down his throat and came out his backside. His ASS. Now, Joe's fighting the Ronans, right? So Joe comes out the room on the phone and she's screaming at the top of her lungs. And she's telling lies. The main lie this person said was that I told her grandbabies were ugly. This is grandbabies from another picnic she has. As God is my witness, I did not. Joe claims she said I said it at the repast. I didn't even speak to this person at the repast more than thank you for the food. So if Joe got it wrong, and that's not what she said, I did have a conversation with this person 2 days later after the whole service, told them the service was beautiful, and I asked them why did their ex-daughter-in-law go up and talk, being that she was divorced from the family for a long time. I don't like the girl. I'll be honest with you, I don't like her. There was some drama that got started back in 2005 because of her and her husband, which is this person's son. And I've never gotten over it. And that's what they said about me. That's what the person said about me. She never gets over anything. She can't let sleeping dogs lie. She's always causing. No, she liked to throw snide comment. This person I'm talking about liked to throw snide comment like shade and act like I don't know what shade is. And this year I'm not doing that. I'm not opening an umbrella anymore over my head when people throw shade and act like I don't know that it's shade, because it makes me look stupid and simple. I'm going to be very very petty this year, and I'm going to call shade for what it is. So she liked to throw shade from time to time and say, you know what I don't like about this family? Meaning their family, because they're not my family, okay? Let's not get it twisted. They're not my family. They're my children's family and Joe's family, but they're not my family. You know what I don't like about this family? I don't like that this one don't talk to this one, that one don't talk to this one, that one don't talk. When Joe's brothers weren't talking to him, one of them that's talking to him on the video now, it's not because of me. And she's always trying to let it be because of me. It's not because of me. All right? I can tell you what happened. He had a little heifer he was dating. Joe was staying with them. The heifer kept putting him in the corner, questioning him different things about the brother. He didn't like it. He left the house, went back to stay with my parents. The brother never got over that. Didn't talk to Joe from 2009 till now, 2023. Off of this heifer that's no longer in the family. And that's why I keep saying, these people that are newly into the family, they're not going to last. This is a tough family to be in. They're not going to last, all right? So anyways, she talked that I tell a lie. That's a lie. The conversation that I had with her, I asked her why the girl spoke, the ex-daughter-in-law, and she said because she was close with the mother-in-law. And I said, oh, I didn't realize that. They had a side relationship I knew nothing about. Okay, let me back up, shut my mouth. And she told me that she can never see her grandbabies because every time she reaches out to that girl. So if you're watching, you're going to hear the story now, girl. You that I can't stand. You that see me at every function and roll your big eyes at me. Okay? And she said, every time I reach out, she has to check this schedule, some schedule. I can't see my grandbabies. And I said, well, it's a pity because they would benefit from you being in their lives because she's kind. The person I'm talking about is kind. I'm not going to tell you a whole bunch of ratchetness that's lies. I'm going to speak the truth. I've always just spoken the truth. And my little diehard, my 7 that I have in my corner always tell me, don't change because of what you're going through. You guys don't even know how many times a family member will call and cuss me out from head to toe on both sides of the family. Cuss me out for something I said in my mukbang. And I have to come on here and smile and grin and eat like nothing. Or cook like nothing. You guys don't even know. Some of you know. So when Joe braced this person and said, you're a damn liar. My wife said nothing like, because I even told her, I said, they would benefit from you being in their life because you're kind to them. You explain to see that they love you. You love them. And I said, and you know what? They're so beautiful. Despite how I feel about the mother, they're so beautiful. And I picked one of the 2 girls. I'm not going to say which one, if it's the oldest or the youngest. I picked the one that I thought was the most beautiful based on my own beholder. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I said, don't get me wrong, the other one is very pretty, but this one takes the cake for me. And I was honest. That's my feelings, that's my opinion, I can say that. So for her to say that blatant lie and say I call him pick me ugly, that hurts my heart. Okay? I can't get past that. I can't get past that. These two people jump out of the ground like demons at me yesterday. What did I say? Where was the lie in what I said? They did leave Joe out of the slideshow. And we did send 50 pictures out of the photo album. We took 3 hours, over 12 photo albums to send these pictures. My young brother-in-law is not involved in this. He asked me for the pictures. He put the pictures in the book, in the program. Oh, they send the video all over to all the family members. Look what she's saying about you. Okay, whatever. I didn't call nobody's name. One person in my call, my young sister-in-law husband, because he was singing too much. And I said he had a beautiful voice, but he was singing too much. I don't have nothing against him. I can speak my opinion about what I felt about the service. The F? Who's going to stop me? Who stopped Rachel Ray? Who stopped Martha Stewart? Who stopped Pioneer Woman? Nobody can stop them from speaking what they want to speak, right? I'm not telling any lies. I'm voicing my opinion. That's how I feel. I don't care to have a relationship with any of these people. And if I did, I wouldn't say it publicly. I wouldn't speak about the topic publicly. You know what I said in the video. Joe gave me permission to say what I want to say. He goes, as long as you don't tell no lies, you can say what you want to say. He's done. He's tired. He says, that's why I left Belize when I was a youngster, because I was tired of the family drama. Came to America, and 7 years later, they were right behind me causing drama again. Yet there I said it. I spoke on his behalf. Only reason he's not sitting next to me is because I don't want to catch COVID. He co-signed on this, okay? And when I edit it, I'm going to show him what I'm saying so he can tell me if I need to cut anything out. So some of the family, they throw rocks and hide their hand, right? This one throws shade all day long. Every minute tell my husband, your wife, let me tell you about your wife. She got a mouth on her. Always talking about this family. Well, who talk about the family more than you? How do I know all the family business when none of them don't even talk to me and don't even live here? How do I know who's screwing who and whose car is parked next door? Who have baby for somebody out there? How do I know this? How do I know all of this? How do I know whose marriage is on the rocks? How do I know any of this? And they said, dog will bring bone, care bone. And that's why I don't speak my things to nobody. Nobody knows what goes on in my bedroom with my husband. If we quarreling, if we fighting, if we this, if we that, nobody knows what's going on. I keep that stuff that I don't confide in nobody like that. That's between me and him and God. And if you want a good marriage or a good relationship, you need to start doing that. If you feel like you have to go confide something about your significant other to somebody else, don't. If it's the person's mother, don't do it. The mother's going to learn to hate that person. If it's the sister, don't do it. They're going to learn to hate. They're going to learn to hate you in the process. Who talk more than her? Not I. I'm a vault. So somebody else come and put a comment on that video, and I deleted the comment. Wasn't rude, but I knew that it was shade. I deleted it, and I'm going to block that person. I blocked the kid. I blocked the kid that I mess with. No. Stay away from me. You can't be mad enough. You mad enough to come at me with your whole chest and be disrespectful, but you can't come back and say, damn, I messed up. You know, truly, I was under the wrong assumption because of the third party. No. Move on. Move on. My children, I said it before, didn't want to go to the service for their grandmother. They were not close with Joe's mother. They were not close with Joe's father. They don't feel no pain over the loss of their grandparents. There, I said it. No pain. No joy, but no pain. They feel the pain for their dad, right? And when I talked with Joshua about what's going on right now, Joshua said, Mommy, it's always a contest with them, and I can't bear it to be around them. Ever since they were little. Joshua was born June the 18th, Father's Day that year. Another nephew for the brother that had lived out here was born June the 12th, 1994. Joshua born 1989. They used to always come up to Joshua's birthday party on Father's Day every year, no matter if the birthday fell on a different day that year, because it goes back and forth between the 15th and the 21st. I mean, Father's Day does. After that kid was born, they stopped coming to Joshua's birthday parties. And when I asked him, I said, why don't come to Josh's party anymore? He goes, because we have to drive that far to go to the other boy's party, which is a week earlier, because my brother-in-law would have his birthday party closer to his birthday, as to not to coincide with mine. I respect that. I thank him for that. But it still had it to the point where they didn't come because they didn't want to drive back to back. I didn't let that get me mad because I don't like to drive back to back either to LA. But they stopped coming completely, so my kids are not close with them. And when those other cousins would come over with that brother-in-law, because Joe don't go pick them up, it's always a contest. Look what I did. Look what I have. Mine is bigger than yours. Mine's better than yours. And now that they're all grown and in their late 20s and early 30s, they're doing that even more because they will say, what kind of car are you driving? Oh, I'm driving this Ford F-150 2023. You're driving a 2002 Scion. What the hell Joshua drive? A Saturn? A Saturn. And it's like, we only get what we can afford. We're not in debt except for the mortgage. Praise God. Praise God. Hallelujah. You know what I mean? So they show off about everything. This is my brand new baby. This is my new Mexican girlfriend. This is my new Guatemalan girl. So what? We working on our coins. We're not working on baby mama drama because it's all baby mamas. Nobody's married. All baby mamas. I hate when people call people their wife or their husband and they're not married. I differentiate. So the person ragged on me because I talked about my father-in-law's middle name being spelt differently than Joe's middle name. I didn't say that to denigrate nobody, to say that they don't know how to spell. I said that because I wondered if it was spelled differently on his birth certificate, because down at the registry in Belize, they always mess up people's birth certificate, because my mom said back in the olden days, when your mom gave birth, they stayed in the house a whole month, and when it's time to register the baby, they send maybe the dad or an auntie, uncle, cousin, or the maid, the washerwoman, to go register the child, and then maybe they spelled the name wrong, not the way that the mother intended, or then maybe registry typed it wrong. My mom, our entire lives, till my mom was 35, she was Rosalie, the regular name for Rosalie. And then when she had to take her birth certificate out to get her passport to come to America now, and she was getting her papers and everything here, everything had to be in what the birth certificate says. And the birth certificate said Rosalee, so she had to change her name legally. With all her stuff, right? So that stuff happened. So I wondered out loud, and I asked this person, you think that's what happened? You know, because at first I thought the guy that made the death announcement spelled it wrong. And then when I saw it wrong and everything, it's kind of jarring because I'm like, no, my husband's a junior, so no, technically he's not a junior. Well, he's still a junior, but you know what I mean. So the person said, I act like I'm a know-it-all. Well, I'm going to tell you what I know. I know how to treat people the way that I wish that they would treat me, because that's what that scripture says. It doesn't say treat people like the way they would treat you. It's to treat them the way you wish they would treat you. Because people don't treat you good. It's not the same people you're good to that's going to come back and be good to you. So that already makes me the smartest person in the room, because I try to treat people good. I'm very hospitable. I'm very amenable. And no matter if I don't like you and you show up at my doorstep, I will have a meal for you and I will roll out the red carpet and treat you well. You would have left here knowing how many people in Joe family didn't talk to us for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and they just show up at our doorstep with another family member. Come on in, sit down. You want a meal? And I mean it. You know I don't like Donald Trump. If he showed up, I would treat him good. Not because he's ex-president, but because he's a human being. I match energy for energy. Now, if you come up in here treating me bad, you got to go. You got to go, right? The dog want me to wrap it up. Yeah, so it was very, very horrible what we had to endure a couple days ago for one stupid video that I'm not going to take down. I made $4.93 on the video. The little kid was like, I always watch a few minutes of your video and hit a like so I can help you. Thank you, but I don't need your help. I have enough viewers. You guys share this video. I have enough viewers. That's getting me my views, because watching it for a few minutes don't help. You got to watch. When you watch for a few minutes and you peel off, YouTube feels like the video is not interesting. When you watch it for a long time, they know it's interesting because I've held your interest. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Joe is good. He didn't let that bother his sleep and his wellness. I didn't eat my meal, and I figured, oh, well, I'm going to get skinny. No, I'm going to mind the business. Somebody just told me this. I'm going to mind the business that minds me, which is my YouTube business, and I'm going to talk whatever I want to talk. It's my story to tell, and if you look like the villain in my story, then stop treating me poorly. That's all I can say. And I'm not really trying to put nobody on blast just to put people on blast. The last video where I talk about the girl that gossiped about me, I didn't call the people's name because I still like her kids. Even though she's dead and gone, I still like her kids. I'm trying to be respectful, right? So it is what it is. They didn't put him in a slideshow. I really think it was an oversight and kids being petty. But now because this kid carried on like that, the one that I like, it makes me wonder, did he have control over it? And did he notice that Joe wasn't in there and just didn't give a damn to contact us and go, why is Joe not in there? You know what I mean? So for the people who really know me, you guys know that I'm a very smart person. And I'm not smart by osmosis. I study to be smart. I study to be approved. Isn't that what the Bible says? I study all day long. I'm always reading, always learning. When I watch ratchet YouTubers fight, it's because I'm learning about business. Because I want to have a brand. I want to build my thing. You know what I mean? I'm smart, but I'm not the smartest person in the room. And I don't even like being the smartest person in the room. When I get into a room and I realize I'm the smartest person there, I panic because there's so much that I don't know. I want somebody in that room smarter than me to help me figure things out. You know what I mean? I seriously panic. I don't like being the smartest person in the room. And I'm not a know-it-all. I'm the first one to tell you a story, even if it makes me look embarrassed or look bad. And we're going to continue along these lines with these storytelling in these mukbangs because that's the only way I can do it and be relaxed and be happy. See, I didn't eat all my meal. I'm going to finish my ham and my cheese, but I'm not going to eat the rest of that bread because I don't feel hungry. I'm trying to read the cues of my stomach. You don't want your stomach to be full all the time. I'm going to eat that, go drink a ton of water and drink my green juice, maybe eat a fruit, and then I'm going to be ready for lunch in a little while. What's the time is? It's 1:23. I'm eating breakfast late. It's gonna be lunch. It's gonna be lunch by the time we eat. I've gotta go figure out what we're gonna make. Anyways, guys, I wanted to address this, but I didn't want to like belabor the point. But I wanted to make it clear that we're not gonna stand for the okie doke. No one's gonna come in between me and Joe. Nobody can put a wedge between us because there's a hedge of protection around us. We're not new to this marriage thing. We're true to this marriage thing. There's a lot of the family members that I rock with. They know who they are. If they want to take offense to what I said, then kick rocks. If I see you on Facebook and you tag every person named Grinage in an important tag, people that we don't even know, people that they haven't even met, but they don't tag me, I will block you from my Facebook. We can move on. We don't have to be enemies. We can move on. And my husband will untag himself from your tag. No, I know shade when I see it. These people are shady. But then talk about Uno too. Just know that. I just refuse to tell what was said because it's too horrible to repeat what was said. I bought a new thing for the phone because the stupid little Apple thing went out. I couldn't hear it through the phone. And I bought a new, what do you call this thing? Earbuds. And I love the way the wire feels. It's supposed to be tangle free. It sounds really good. It comes in a beautiful box. And I think I'm going to do a review on this for Amazon. Just let me listen to a few more phone calls and we'll do it, okay? Anyways, go check out Joe's first video, part 1 for the Belize trip. It's long. It's an hour long. 59 point something minutes. We're going to have 2 or 3 more videos at Joe's page. I split it up like that because of the copywritten stuff, the music. And hold on a second, guys. Give me 5 minutes, babes. 5 minutes and I'll call you back, okay? Alright, okay, bye-bye. It's my cousin Effie. She texted me, say, call me, but I didn't call you. Yeah, so, yeah, check out Joe's page, share it, let Joe get to the 1,000 subscribers. He still needs to have the 4,000 watched hours, but according to Social Blade, this man should already be making a couple $100 a month with this little stuff because he's getting a lot of views, but he needs the watch time, so that's why I'm making the videos longer. I'm going to put some of his footage here on my page too in another mukbang when I'm done. It's too much of a big file for me to like, I'm stuck just editing what he has, so I need to get through that for the rest of today, okay? I love you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, I'm going to post Joe's video right here in, it's not the cards, in the end cards, right? It's not the up there. In the end cards, check out this video from Joe's trip to Belize, all right? Bye.
This is the Beth Pantry Show.